Them can't touch me, no, them can't touch me. Them can't hold me, no, them can't hold me. Damn, Fife, you got fat. Yeah, I know it looks pathetic. At least Shalik Muhammad got me doing calisthenics. Needless to say, boy, you're back to the bone. Making love to my mic like Jerobi on the phone. Oh! Whoever paid for this is my nigga. Battling? Whatever. Hot damn. Give it a microphone, boy. One cup. Bam! Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss beats, rhymes, and life, this Tribe Called Quest documentary. Now, this documentary is from 2011 and it stars Q-Tip, Fife, Jerobi, and Ali. Now, before I get into how hyped I was to talk about this doc, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're gonna come back and discuss all things back in the days when I was a teenager, before I had status and before I had a pager. You could find the abstract listening to hip hop. My pops used to say it reminded him of beat bop. I said, well, daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Waited, Bobby Brown is just a panther like Michael. It's all expected. Things are for the looking. If you got the money, Quest is for the booking.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this doc. But before we jump into it, I of course have to give a shout out to the person who paid for and requested this. If you happen to get your whole tribe ass life, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. Can I kick it to all the people who can quest like a tribe does? Before this, did you really know what love was? Now, getting into this doc, it is directed by Michael Rapaport, Zebrahead Remy himself, out here in these streets. Now, Michael Rapaport has always been really affiliated with hip hop, especially, back in the day. He was, invited to the cookout, as they say. But I do think that he did an amazing job with this doc, and he did provide us with some answers. Now, instantly, we open up with the guys out on tour, and they are already done. We tried. It's over. I don't want to be around these guys. Like, they can't wait to separate. And I'm sure, like many, including myself, everybody is wondering and need answers as to why. Now, I myself, of course, I'm a bit younger, so I was not there initially when Tribe was at their peak, when they dropped. I discovered their music sometime later. I was maybe 10 or 11 watching reruns of the Wayans Brothers, and I was like, who the fuck rapped and produced on this song during their intro? I felt like the intro was so dope. Relax yourself, girl, be so clear. I was like, what is that? I am vibing. I discovered their albums after that, and I have not left since. I got into that People's Instinctive era, Left My Wallet in El Segundo, Footprints, Bonita Applebaum, Can I Kick It era. Then I got into that Low End Theory, Excursions, Bugging Out, It's Like Butter, baby. We got the jazz, Scenario. Then we got into my favorite album, Midnight Marauders, Award Tour, Electric Relaxation, 8 Million Stories, Lyrics to Go, Suck a Nigga. Oh my God, it just kept getting better and better. And then somewhere around, Beats, Rhyme, and Life, the quality just started to kind of disintegrate a little bit. Not that the albums weren't really, really great, but you could tell that something was off. And this album was coming from a different place than those first three really were. And then we get into the Love Movement, and then it just stopped. Now, we began the documentary, you know, back in the days on the Boulevard of Linden. We start with a very young Q-Tip and a Phife growing up. What I really love about the documentary is that we kind of go back and forth and we see the contrast. Them as a group and that present day, there's so much bitterness, so much angst, just so much animosity. But anytime you hear the group members revert, you know, speaking on their past friendship, how they used to be, or we just get, you know, that element of back in the day, them just growing up, really discovering hip hop, engrossing themselves in it, and just being genuine best friends. There is this gleam in their eye. They're so happy. And you can see that no matter how much animosity is going on, there is still elements of love there. And not only do we get things from Phife and Q-Tip's perspective, you know, with them engrossing themselves in the 80s, growing up, discovering that hip hop and what they love so much about it, and just really discovering who they wanted to be, we also get into the other members. I never knew much about Jarobi. He was just such a mystery to me. I always thought, I was like, is Jarobi a background dancer? Is he a hype man? Is this like, you know, a Flavor Flav situation? I knew that Ali's role was, of course, the DJ, but via this doc, we get a really good glimpse into them, which I really appreciated, because prior to this, I didn't know how much Jarobi actually meant to the group and what his stance actually was. And we also simultaneously get really, really engrossed in the hip hop culture of that time. We hear from multiple artists, different staples in hip hop, different DJs like Mr. Magic, DJ Red Alert, all of these influences that came and went that just made them who they were. And we really get into the foundation of the group. This is not a shallow doc in any sense of the word. I absolutely love that everybody is here in this documentary to speak on their own behalf. We don't have, you know, everybody long gone and people who were there for the element in the era speaking for them. Q-Tip, Phife, everybody is here. No words are minced. Everybody is meaning what they said and saying what they meant. Down to, you know, them being in high school at the right place at the right time, and DJ Red Alert being the uncle of the sister of the brother of the cousin of someone of a the brothers, the jungle. De La Soul, on a roll, black medallions, no gold, hanging out in balls, hanging out with bass, buddy, all in my face, for the lap. Jim Brownski must wear a cap, just in case the young girl likes to clap. The Jungle Brothers were here. You also get this feeling of dread and disappointment because we continue to go and flash back and forth between present day and their past, and all this genuine good happiness and growth and friendship that they had, to seeing them just so infuriated with each other, so mad, so mean, just downright conflict. Is very disappointing to see this group diminish into something like that, really personally, via Phife and Q-Tip. All the other members were just like, y'all calm the fuck down. But it's really just, it's like, damn, can't we all just get along? And we get more into their childhoods and them as young men, teenagers growing up into be adults. You see just how different they are, but how they were able to complement each other. You know, we have Q-Tip, he's really eccentric, like all this big character, all this charisma. He's really smooth. As where we have Phife, you know, he's fast, he's calm, he's chill, he's cool and low key. Like, they are just kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, but when they rap, they bounce off of each other so well that it's just so great. Like, stay there. All the extra shit, like beef, we don't need. What's beef? Beef is when a nigga like we don't need that. Stop. We also inform everybody and how influential they are as a group, and I don't think there is no misunderstandings that, you know, if there was no Tribe, there would be no NERD, no Pharrell Williams, probably no Timbaland, no Common, no, you know, Talib Kweli, no Jay Dilla, like, no, like, the people we love in MF, like, the people we love in hip hop, they probably wouldn't exist. This group came along, and not only were they for the culture, but they were, you know, conscious, they were different, they were so layered and away from the norm. They tried to be, you know, abstract, come all the abstract. They were trying to be different, and they made it cool to be conscious, cool to know more about your culture, just cool to be different. But they also had really great rhymes. Everything was really well written, had the best fucking beats and mixes and samples. Like all of that stuff has been so influential, not only in hip hop, but to some of the people that are so beloved now in hip hop. And I don't think Tribe gets any sort of credit for that at all, especially on the producing tip. Let's get into tip producing. I also love that we get to see not only them creating their first album and where they are as a group from the very beginning, but we get into other things that makes them outside of just the music. We get into Fife and his relationship, his love for sports that's always been there, and we also get into Q-Tip and his love for music. This is probably my favorite portion of the documentary, not just because it's talking about Q-Tip as a producer and his influence and the joy that he gets out of, you know, getting that perfect sample, that perfect beat, and going to dig through crates. It's just really the origin of hip hop and how we are pretty much tracing everything back to jazz and bebop. And we get that really collective thought and love from Q-Tip, taking hip hop so serious. It's art, it's a craft, you know, reaching back to compose certain things from music left over from generations and finding the beauty in that. It's a lot that we just don't get today. Nobody cares, nobody's really crafty, nobody's trying to create. Everybody's just kind of replicate and do the same thing. Everything sounds the same, but we were able to reach out thin and, you know, sample, but still make it creative, still make it your own, make it brand new, and make it fucking fantastic. I, for one, appreciate the group as a whole so much for that. This group and even shows like The Cosby Show introduced me to jazz, introduced me to maybe a Minnie Riperton, things that I probably wouldn't be aware of if I didn't hear the sample there in that song and wonder about the origin, where it came from, and want to know more of it. Thank you, Tribe. We see where they were as a group, as a whole, with every single album, every step of the way. We get into them lyrically. We get into the creation of native tongues and what that really meant. There was just such a sense of community and family within hip hop. Never gonna see that shit again. But we even get into the small things like Fife trying to turn it up a notch and come in, you know, a little harder with that second album. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. Like, we get all into that. We also get into their personalities beyond music and who these men really are. You know, someone like Jerobi pretty much leaving the group when they were at their highest because it just, you know, it really wasn't for him. He felt like he wanted to go and pursue other passion, him finding, you know, value in being a chef and more family, keeping it more low-key, and low-key him being the glue of the group, which I would have never known without watching this documentary. Jerobi served a really big purpose in the group and was low-key the mediator this entire time and was there to keep cool heads. We needed Jerobi and we didn't even know it. We also get into Ali, who seems very neutral. He's very quiet. He's very focused and wants people to get along. But it really feels like we needed Jerobi there to de-escalate situations when it came to Fife and Q-Tip. Let's talk about them. Police sounds, forget it. When's the last time you heard a funky diabetic? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Let's get into Fife and these type 1 diabetes. Now, of course, if you are a fan, you are very aware, you know, drink a lot of soda, so they call me Dr. Pepper. It's in there, it's in the music, but when you see it here, it is not funny at all. Just to see how vibrant he is as a young adult and trying to rap, just being the best Fife, and even just to see how early on the diabetes really set in and affected his health and the group as a whole, it was just like, wow. It's really hard to watch his health decline here in this doc because it just feels like it could have been handled a lot better if things were, handled sooner. Maybe the case wouldn't be as worse as it is. But just to see Fife, especially early on in the beginning, be quite nonchalant about, the treatment and what he needs to do health-wise for his diabetes, for his health, get away from the sugar, or even how he felt about Q-Tip and Ali trying to push him more to do healthier things, work out, eat right, and just be absolutely against it. It is, really a wake-up call, because we know somebody like this, and we could be somebody like this. But just to see him go against the grain for so long and not really take it serious and do pretty much as he pleased until the case just worsened, and to we really get what we have here now in this documentary. It's really unfortunate that we get to see Fife be so strong, so young, so lyrical, so charismatic, but at the same time kind of see him be that typical old school black male. I don't believe in therapy. I don't believe in going to the doctor. That's kind of for suckers. I'll handle it on my own. Don't tell me what to do with my body. I can't control it. This is an addiction. I need my sugar. I need my soda. I need these things. And just to see him not put his health first, it was not a good look. We get to see the bad. We get to see how biased he can be, how stubborn he can be, how unaccountable he can be. And it's just like, damn, these are grown ass men. Not only do we see that Fife is quite stubborn and insecure in many ways, especially where he falls within the group, we get into Q-Tip, or should I say Kamal the Abstract, or whatever the hell he feels like being at that moment. Not only is he a creative, free spirit, just full of rambunctious beats and just so fucking awesome, he is a whole lot of other things too. We get into the conflict coming in not only with Fife's health, but Fife feeling like this nigga Q-Tip is trying to Kelly and Michelle us. Like, this is a group. It's like you're trying to move like this is your shit. We get into Q-Tip being extremely controlling, feeling like, hey, one band, one sound. Like, not only am I doing the writing, I'm doing the producing. Maybe I should get a bigger share. Maybe my name should be in lights. Of course, we see that Fife is really internalizing every freaking thing, but via Q-Tip in the job, none of it is justified. I just make the beats. It's love, peace, and love, and equality, and I just like, absolutely not. Nobody says the same shit about you and it not be true. There are multiple people throughout this doc who carefully try to, Q-Tip is a little harsh. He's, he's crazy. He's a little hard. He's bonkers. He's extra. He's negative. He's nobody's just making this shit up about you, and he's just really kind of gaslighting the other guys, and it's just more so Fife because it looks, within the doc like he's the only real one with the conflict. Ali is just like, hey, I'm just trying to freaking I'm just like, he's very centered. I believe Ali is Muslim, like he's praying. He's a very neutral guy, whereas if we would have had Jerobi, he was maybe the one that did this. But since Jerobi is gone, we literally have these people at each other's necks as grown men who grew up. This is family, and they are just, to see them like physically go at each other, just be so, to see them sit up and say they thought the third album was gonna be the last album. Don't fucking say that shit. We wasn't gonna get no once again. I really know how it feels to be. We wasn't gonna get no stressed out. We began to see the dynamics of the group just change entirely when we get into that fourth album. So where the entire group breaks up and everybody has a different answer as to why. We have Fife just feeling like, you know what? We found out with everybody else. He really didn't even talk to us. If he wanted to, have us be the pips and you want to go off and do your own thing, I would respect you more if you just said that. Just be a man and admit to you wanting more control. You don't care for me moving away. You want us all in the booth at the same time, all in the studio, all making beats. You want this to be a collective. And I want to go off and have my own life and do my own thing. You're not agreeing with that, so you want to go do your own shit because you feel like you're capable. Go ahead, just tell me that. You have Q-Tip. I don't know what they're talking about. I give everybody a paper. This was all a mutual decision. And you have just Ali just neutral in the middle. Like, it is just crazy to see how creative they can be and how great they are musically versus the conflict that we see in the documentary. We have them completely break up, and we have everybody go off and do their own thing. Of course, we know that Ali, I wanna dance tonight, toss tonight, spend my money tonight, spend my money, spend your money, yeah. Get to that Lucy Pearl. He went off and, had his own thing. He's a producer as well. He's a very creative, conscious soul himself. Of course, we have Fife. Fife here for me is sort of cautionary as far as hip hop is concerned, because we see that he put his all into it. I believe he didn't graduate. He just felt like this was going to be forever. And this was, hip hop is never forever. You can be big one day, gone tomorrow. Music changes so often, especially conflict within a group, or just as a musician in general. You never know how long you're going to be in the game. So it's always great to have another plan. And it took him a minute to figure out what that was, because he was so used to being an MC. And if I'm not that, who the hell am I? Whereas you have Q-Tip, who was always leaning more towards producing. Of course, we saw him acting in different avenues. And of course, Special Girl, real good girl. Hey, biggest thing for my itty bitty girl. Call her up because she make me feel right. We got into that vibrant thing, breathe and stop. All of that good, Q-Tip era that we got from Amplified. Do I feel like Q-Tip maybe thought he was the Diana Ross of the group, and he was offering a little bit more because he was lyrically inclined and he was producing? Absolutely, absolutely I do. And did I love, that Amplified record, or maybe something like the Renaissance records, independent projects that he did by himself? Absolutely. Did they hit like those fucking Tribe albums though? No, absolutely not. And when we have that one member who kind of does more of the grandstands, everybody can't be Beyonce. Everybody would love to be Beyonce, but Beyonce is, freaking Beyonce. Some things just really hit as a collective. And I feel like he was his best, and he's his most present as an artist and in his element more when he's in the group. We adore you by yourself, but we absolutely love the dynamic of you, Fife, Jerobi, and Ali. It's a collective, and sometimes that outweighs you as an independent artist. While we have to watch Ali and his career kind of in limbo because people aren't willing to give his new artistry a chance, or Fife, his first album, the solo thing not really popping off for him, and his health, steady declining, and him finding other interests, we have Q-Tip on the other hand. Not only are you flourishing as an independent artist, you're able to go and produce or do other avenues, you are still going out and performing Tribe music without the entire tribe. I absolutely did not know how to feel about that. Of course, we have, time go by, and he's reflecting, this is for the people still want the music. This is, why should I? It is, it holds different weight, because we know for a fact Ali couldn't go out alone and perform Tribe music. Fife couldn't really go out alone and, perform it. So why should you be able, I low-key felt like that was a little disrespectful, even though I do understand, about the artistry and why should the fans have to suffer because we're not getting along collectively as a group. That's when we go back and we man up and we try our best to fix that shit. You should not be on stage with Consequence and Kanye doing Tribe shit. Fuck out of here. Once we get back into present day and all this time has gone by, and we have them come together as a collective for the Rock the Bells tour, not only for the fans but mostly for Fife and his health and all of the medical bills and things that he has to pay for. Once again, protect your money and your artistry. Everything doesn't last forever. Have your retirement plan set up, bruh. They don't care. They do not care. But it's so hard to watch because it's completely different from the beginning of the doc when you see them, you're on point Fife all the time, Tip. It is absolutely not that. The energy is completely deaded. And to see their negative tension and energy affect the entire tour to where, groups like De La Soul, other members of just, Native Tongue, maybe Jones, just Nas, just everybody just like terrified at the thought that you guys can't even stand next to each other. And though, there is reason for Fife to feel the way he feels, you absolutely see a lot of resentment on Fife's part. That not only were you able to go on and create and perform our shit independently, and you kind of, he feels like, you know, you not only changed the dynamics of our group, but you low-key stifled my career. And you totally get that type of resentment off of Five. I don't care what the hell was being said and what was going on about, you know, he said, you know, hold your head up, you know, give us more energy on stage. And he's like, you know, did I feel like Five should have his ass out there performing in his condition? Absolutely not. Take care of your pension plan. Like, absolutely not. There was no reason that he should have been out there, but you know, we have to do what we have to do. And I was, you know, I was with Q-Tip at that moment, like, which, you know, is, you know, a little cocky, like, bruh, I ain't gotta be here. Like, I'm good. We're here for you. But it's like, yo, we showed up for you. We're here for you. And you trying to come at me like, it was just horrible to see. We have these brothers continue to bicker like damn near to the very end. It's, you know, creating tension and division in the group where he's, you know, Jerobi. And I absolutely love Five's relationship with Jerobi and how much they care for each other as black men. That was beautiful to see. And even Ali just be like as peaceful and namaste as he was. Absolutely gorgeous. But we have so much time go by. And I don't care what Five's wife had to say or the conditions of his health or, you know, even Q-Tip trying to remain neutral and him. Time's just going by, and I'm sitting there watching this doc, and I'm like, what the fuck is it all for? Like, we slowly get to see his health decline more and more to where he just can barely stand up on stage, and yet we have time and energy to give to riffs and old beefs and just resentment. Like, this doc is a good statement piece for valuing what you have, why you have it, why it's here, and some things in the bigger grand scheme, it's just not fucking important. We have more goddamn years go by, and we have Five even have a surgery. His beautiful wife gives him a kidney, and things are kind of looking up, which is also sad to see because we know in the end how things ended and, you know, him passing away, which is just, you're just like, damn, y'all spent so much time arguing and all this anger, and it just shouldn't have been that because clearly he wasn't here for a very long time. But you finally, in the very end, have them kind of come together and be able to coexist, and we look forward to them, you know, not only performing and going on the road and the tour, and, you know, the dancing. You can't touch me, no, them can't touch me. Them can't hold me, no, them can't hold me. They was having a good ass time. Damn, Fife, you got fat. I absolutely love to see it. I love to see them happy and in their groove and in their niche and at their best. But we have them prep for that tour. They're getting along, and of course that album that we got later on, right, you know, as Five passed. And it ends on a good note, but it's like, damn, we could have ended on this note years earlier. But I absolutely love the documentary, and I appreciated everything that it brought and hearing things from everybody's perspective while everybody is still here or was still here. That's how documentaries should be. Well, you guys, that was my review for A Tribe Called Quest documentary. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was fun, as you can see. Love me some music. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about the doc. Have you seen it? Did this give you any interest to go and view it? Did you feel like, you know, the conflicts were, you know, imaginary, a little one-sided? Who did you agree with? Get those conversations going. I look forward to reading and responding to your comments. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.